Hello there. I'm really fortunate that in my career I've been asked to judge a number of different film competitions like the New Zealand Deaf Society Film Awards, Tropfest, and even the 48-hour filmmaking competition, which is the largest filmmaking competition in the Southern Hemisphere. And I was the head Waikato judge for nearly a decade. On top of that, I've taught filmmakers and had to watch a whole bunch of student films, and I have like 3 film degrees under my belt. So when it comes to judging film, I think I've got a little bit of experience here, and over the weekend, we saw a number of political related films drop, and it was really fascinating because a lot of them really did sum up the political ideologies that they represented surprisingly well, and that's not necessarily a good thing. Like this weird take on Winston Peters climbing on a horse dressed as a typical Southern man. This is a guy who has spent the most of the last 40 years in Parliament being the most politician out there, but he rides a horse and looks like a Southern man in Southern man outfit. It is so misleading and so typical of New Zealand First at the moment, just showing people what they think they want to see to get votes. Then you've got the weird national campaign video that came out that tonally is all over the place. Like it starts off trying to be kind of like a Jordan Peele Get Out situation, and it ends up like a found footage horror film. The score's too loud, the color grading's all over the place, it's inconsistent with its messaging, it's just really weird. Like it even goes from landscape to portrait halfway through the video. Why? Just, it is a mess. I'm going to call this one Nationals. Nope, not at all. We also saw weird video footage of them running into their party campaign launch like wrestlers, and that seems kind of weird to me as well. Like, they're not celebrities, they're politicians. Very strange. On top of that, we also saw some video footage come out about Freedoms NZ. Like, to be fair, this was on the news. And this one I'm going to call The Birth of a Nation, which, much like The Birth of the Nation original film in the early 1900s, is a really important piece of narrative information. That film was the first time that we ever saw film chopped up and edited to tell a narrative story. And this one is the first time we get to see film chopped up to tell why these people are complete idiots. Very important both ways. And both of them have this really interesting theme where the racists and alt-right nutjobs come in to try and save the day. And yeah, we know how well that ages, don't we? And then on top of that, you've got this particular individual, which I'm going to call Triumph of the Weak Will, in reference to Leni Riefenstahl's Triumph of the Will, which was also a seminal piece of documentary filmmaking about Nazis. This guy was particularly upset with the Prime Minister because the person yelling and screaming chose to make choices that put other people at risk, and he didn't like that. It's very weird. Over the next few weeks, you're going to see a whole bunch of video content come out from your political parties and the politicians that are running. The really important trick is not to sit down and look at it like I do as somebody who has judged films for years, but to sit down and see what the message is and whether or not that message speaks to you. When it comes to who you're going to vote for, sitting down and watching a video is kind of cool, but you need to look at the policies and you need to look at what's actually on offer. Because if you're going to go out and vote based on one video of an 80-year-old climbing a horse, maybe that's not the best way to decide where to put your vote.